You're watching the 2019-20 SCAC Basketball Media Days. Today, we're taking a look at the Trinity University men's basketball program. The Tigers, of course, coming off a 7-20 season a year ago, 6-10 in the SCAC, making a run to the SCAC tournament semifinals. Trinity will be led by head coach Pat Cunningham, along with senior guard Tyler Peavy. And Coach Tyler, thanks so much for joining us today.
Yep, thanks for having us.
Thanks, Russell. Our pleasure.
Coach, we'll get going with you. You head into your 21st season as the head coach there in San Antonio. What have you learned over the course of your career that creates a productive camp and allows you to sort of build that solid foundation as you prepare for a new season?
Well, you know, it's getting old. It kind of each season is a new season. It's interesting to see how, again, each year, each group is different, and I think it's that keeps myself motivated and new challenges and you know, I think the foundation has been built. You know, she said 21 years ago. It's been built and building, but each year's a new year. So it's you know, you've got to start anew and work with the young men you have and hopefully provide a good product.
Tyler, in your senior year, you know that comes with a leadership role, especially being the lone senior. How have you shouldered that, and what is different finally being in your fourth year there at Trinity?
Just, you know, I knew I was coming into this role, coming in as the only senior this year, so I knew I had to step up to the plate. I was able to kind of lead the guys going into this offseason and this preseason. We had our trip to London this summer that was really beneficial for us, and we really bonded and came together as a team, and the guys just been responded great to me and what we've been trying to do this year.
Coach, I look at this roster, and it's a huge sophomore class. I think 12 in total, with a number of those athletes getting significant minutes for your team last year. I think 4 averaged over 15 minutes per night. What do you like to see? I would imagine there's a ton of growth from freshman to sophomore year. You know, what do you like to see from those guys kind of continuing to take that next step now that they have a year of experience under their belt?
Well, and as you mentioned, the bulk of our roster comes in that class, and again, I think there's a great learning curve and maturity curve from freshman to sophomore year. I think that's the biggest jump I've seen over the 30 years of coaching, mostly because that freshman year, there's so many things that are new, both as a student and as an athlete, the pace of the play, all those kinds of things are kind of thrown at you, and some can adapt quicker than others, but that's, you know, that's the big adjustments from a high school to the first year of college. So the second year, I think we're looking forward to a dramatic improvement relative to just physically and as well as mentally and approach to the game. I think we're excited. We've got, you know, Tyler as a senior. We've got a couple of juniors and then that sophomore class. So, and again, I think as you look across the country, as you look at teams competing nationally, and I don't care what level, whether it be Division 1, 2, or 3, I think that you see teams that are young be successful. You know, so I don't think that's a preclusion or a precursor to, you know, an excuse for not being good. I think that this group has a chance to perform well and be good.
Tyler, preseason is such a unique time of the year with so many ups and downs, but just kind of getting to go through that with your teammates. What's your favorite part, you know, despite all the challenges that preseason brings, that you enjoy most about this time of the year?
I think just getting back on the court is really the best part. We had a really good off-season and preseason. We really hit the weight room hard, waking up early for conditioning. So guys were pretty anxious to get back on the court. So these first few weeks of practice are really fun, just getting the ball back in our hands, like being with each other every day in the locker room. So just that camaraderie with each other is probably the best part.
Coach, the SCAC right now to me is truly one of those any given night leagues. As you've looked at the standings over the last couple of years, 1 or 2 games can really make a huge difference in where the standings fall, where, you know, any night anyone can take on anyone. How do you as a coach prepare your team to be, you know, ready for that type of a league where there are no nights off and every time you have to be there and ready to play?
Well, Russell, I think that's the beauty of college basketball is, as I continually tell our team from year to year, is that you only get 25 opportunities to do this. And for Tyler, this is the last 25 of his career. And so I think that the ability to prepare each night, whether it be, a conference or non-conference game, the goal is to prepare and do your best each time out. So I think there's less said for the fact that it's a balanced conference. I don't think you prepare any differently. I just think that the results can be surprising sometimes and be topsy-turvy, and that's the beauty of what we've done the last couple of years here in this conference. As you've seen, 5 or 6 seed getting to the championship game, and day in and day out, nobody's running away with a conference. It's very well balanced. Let me put it that way.
Tyler, finally to wrap things up with you, as you've had discussions with your teammates, looking ahead to this season about some of the goals that this group has. What have those discussions looked like, and what are some of the goals for this 2019-20 Trinity men's basketball program?
We had a meeting at the beginning of the year, a players meeting, and the only goal we wanted was to win SCAC championship. So that's the goal on everybody's mind. Coaches are bought in, players are bought in. So we just feel really good going into the season, and we know what our goal is, and we're going to do everything we can to get there.
And finally, for you, Coach, wrapping things up, this season is successful if what plays out on the floor for your guys. What are you looking for from this team to sort of see them continue to take the steps in the right direction for this 2019-2020 year?
Well, I think as Tyler mentioned, I think his leadership and the group have come together very well. So, let me start with saying that you need that kind of leadership to have some success on the court. And I think that this year's group has really moved forward in that regard. And then I think as you look at, as you put together a product and these guys are getting together and practicing, is that, I don't know what it's going to look like from a X's and O's standpoint, but I think what it's going to look like is each night they're going to come prepared and ready to play and give their best effort to succeed and achieve the goal that Tyler just mentioned, which is to win the SCAC championship. And it started a little over a week ago, and it continues, and it's a work in progress as we go through practices and then start the season.
The Trinity University men's basketball program, again, the Tigers will open up the 2019-20 season when they take on George Fox November the 8th. The Tigers will be led as they head into the year by head coach Pat Cunningham along with senior guard Tyler Peavy. Coach Tyler, thanks so much for joining us today, and best of luck as you head into the season.
Thank you.
Thanks, Russell.